At this time, I would like to welcome everyone to the Town of Lexington Council meeting. This meeting is being held at Town Hall Monday evening, June 15th, 2020. This meeting is being broadcast live and will be replayed several times over the next week on the town's cable information channel 1301 and will also be available for viewing on the town's website. I'm Steve McDougall, the mayor of the Town of Lexington. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you my fellow council members. In front of me to my left is Mayor Pro Tem Hazel Livingston.
Good evening.
In front of me to my right is Councilmember Kathy Maness.
Good evening.
Had to announce those ladies first. To my left is Councilmember Todd Carnes.
Good evening.
To his left is Councilmember Steve Baker.
Good evening.
To my right is Councilmember Ron Williams.
Good evening.
And to his right is Councilmember Todd Lyle.
Good evening.
At this time, I would like to ask Councilmember Lyle if he would lead us in invocation for tonight's meeting.
Certainly. Lord, we thank you for all the many gifts that you've given us, and we just thank you for the blessings that you've shown us, each and every one of us. We thank you for continuing to give us opportunities to serve. We further ask you to give your blessing on this town and continue to help us get through this time. We love you and pray this in your name.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Lyle. This time, I'd like to ask Mr. Williams if he'd lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone, please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. At this time, I will call the meeting to order and ask, are there any deletions on tonight's agenda for the meeting this evening? Anyone have anything they'd like to pull off the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move right into a vision plan update. Vision plan update for June 2020. Construction has started at the Ice House Amphitheater Pavilion along Church Street. The goal is to be completed by the end of this year. In addition to the pavilion, there will also be women's restrooms and air conditioning added to the current facility, as I hear all the women in the audience clapping. Yes. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, concerts have not resumed. However, Market at the Ice House runs each Saturday from 9 to noon, with the exception of July 4th. And we look forward to seeing each and every one of you out there at the Market at the Ice House Amphitheater every Saturday morning from 9 to noon. Gibson Pond Park will officially close to the public for construction on June 22nd. This will be to rebuild the dam, which was destroyed in the 2015 floods. The park will remain closed while work is done. It is expected to take under a year to complete. Visit our website to find out a list of other parks that you can visit during this time. The vision plan goal: each month I announce what is going on in and around Lexington. All are a result of the vision plan that was put in place in 2014 and was reviewed and updated last summer. You can read the entire vision plan on the town's webpage. Please share your thoughts with us if you have any ideas that will improve the quality of life for our community. That is the vision plan update for June 2020. At this time, we will have a traffic update by Mayor Pro Tem Hazel Livingston.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's a new temporary traffic pattern turning out of Whiteford Way onto Sunset Boulevard, where you can now use both lanes to turn left anytime. New signs have been installed at this intersection. Please be aware of this change. Further improvements that will add an additional lane existing Whiteford Way is forthcoming. Along Columbia Avenue 378 between Reed Avenue and Old Chapin Road, the development of Andy's Car Wash has begun. This work requires some intermittent lane shifts and possible closures as construction of a raised median is completed. The next Traffic Committee meeting has not yet been rescheduled. A new date and time will be decided on soon. If you're aware of any traffic signal issues, unsafe roadways, Potholes that needs repairs, please call 803-358-7273 and let us know.
Thank you very much, Mayor Pro Tem. At this time, we will now open up for public hearings. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes. Final reading of an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget. Does anyone here wish to speak to that? Hearing none, item number 2, final reading of an ordinance to provide for the fiscal year 2020-2021 tax levy. Anyone here wish to speak to that? And finally, item number 3, final reading of an ordinance annexing Lexington County Tax Map number 4300-01-018 located in the 200 block of Kauffman Farm Lane. Anyone here wish to speak to that? Hearing none, that concludes our public hearings for this evening. We will move right into old business. Our first item of old business is from Councilmember Kathy Manis. Final reading of an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget. Ms. Manis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. South Carolina law requires Town Council to adopt a balanced budget each year. Budget revenue and expenditures are attached as well as the draft ordinance. I make a motion for final reading approval.
Ms. Manis makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Carnes seconds the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Our next item of old business is from Councilmember Todd Carnes, final reading of an ordinance to provide for the fiscal year 2020-2021 tax levy. Councilmember Todd Carnes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. South Carolina law requires Town Council to adopt a tax levy each year. Attached is the draft ordinance for the tax levy for fiscal year 2020-2021. This includes the tax levy rollback for reassessment. The tax levy for fiscal year 19 and 20 is 34.290. With the reassessment rollback, the tax levy for fiscal year 2021 is reduced to 32,982, and a further reduction of 21% to this number for the extension of the hospitality tax takes the overall millage for fiscal year 2021 to 26.056. Mr. Mayor, I make a motion for final reading approval.
Very good. Mr. Carnes makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Baker seconds that motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 3, final reading of an ordinance annexing Lexington County Tax Map number 4300-01-018 located in the 200 block of Kauffman Farm Lane. Councilmember Ron Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. R.P. Kauffman Farm Lane LLC owns 10.37 acres located in the 200 block of Kauffman Farm Lane and has petitioned to annex the property. A Government Services Administration building is being planned on the site. Properties in the town near this one are zoned Protected Residential 2, High-Density Residential, and General Commercial. Kauffman Farm Lane is classified as a collector road. Planning Commission reviewed this annexation during their May meeting and recommended office commercial zoning for the property and collector road classification for Kauffman Farm Road. I'd like to make a motion for final reading approval.
Mr. Williams makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Carnes seconds the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. This time we will move into new business. Our first item of new business is from Councilmember Steve Baker. Ratification of the emergency ordinance number 4, temporary suspension of the sign permit requirements for temporary signs. Mr. Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. The May 15, 2020 Emergency Ordinance Number 4 provided for the suspension through June 30, 2020 of the requirement to apply and receive a permit for signs otherwise allowable under the temporary sign ordinance. Emergency ordinances under state law require one reading, are valid for up to 60 days, and require a two-thirds vote of council. On May 15, 2020, an emailed poll of council elicited a unanimous vote in favor of approving an emergency ordinance. A copy of the approved emergency ordinance number 4 is attached. I make a motion for ratification of the email poll vote.
Mr. Baker makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Lyle seconds that motion. Any further discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yes, sir. Mr. Carnes.
I just wanted to draw attention to this particular emergency ordinance, especially as it relates to the business and commerce community of our town, is that we put this in place as everybody was reopening, understanding that many people had been closed, and we wanted to give our business community every opportunity to advertise their services, perhaps new hours, and make sure they could get back up to speed quickly, because we always want to look out for our business community.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Carnes. Anyone else have anything they'd like to add? Very good. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 2, ratification of an emergency ordinance number 5, is to provide safety precautions during unrest. Councilmember Todd Lyle.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The May 15th, 2020 emergency ordinance number 4 provided for the suspension through June 30th, 2020. Excuse me, I'm rereading what we just did, didn't I? All right, I'll start over. The June 2nd, 2020 emergency ordinance number 5 provided for the town administrator to declare a curfew for the town of any portion thereof in the event of state emergency involving riots or civil unrest moving into the county of Lexington. Emergency ordinances under state law require one reading, are valid for up to 60 days, and require a two-thirds vote of council. On June 2nd, 2020, an email poll of council elicited a 6 in favor of and 1 opposed to approving an emergency ordinance. A copy of the approved emergency ordinance number 5 is attached. Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion for ratification of the email poll vote.
Mr. Lyle makes a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Williams seconds the motion. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir. Mr. Lyle.
Obviously feel like I will need to clarify why I was the one that was voting opposed. And so I just want to be clear that what was communicated to me was that there was a plan for a potential protest. It was all fictitious, and my response was that I would be happy to institute the authority for that curfew if the conditions arose that would warrant that. All that was given to me was an advisory hypothetical, and I simply said that as a person elected to make that decision, I felt I would be happy to cast my vote in favor of that if the conditions warranted it. But what was told to me was that it was a hypothetical plan in the future, and that we weren't really sure if it was going to materialize, and in fact, I don't know that it ever did. And so my position was simply that I'd rather keep that decision for when the conditions warrant it, rather than a advisory opinion or a hypothetical scenario. So that was my reason for my vote.
Very good. Anyone else have anything they'd like to add? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. At this time, we will hear announcements from Councilmember Steve Baker. Mr. Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. If you haven't been to the market at Ice House yet, you need to put it on your calendar for every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. There are over 25 vendors each Saturday. Extra precautions are taken to ensure your safety and to encourage social distancing. Also, if you would like to be a vendor, email market@lexsc.com. The Planning Commission will not meet this month. The Board of Appearance will meet June 23rd at 9 a.m. here in the council chambers. Board training will start again on June 26th at 2 p.m. in the third floor conference room. We thank all the board members who volunteer on our various boards and commissions. We also have additional openings. Citizens may go to the town's website to get an application, and we are always looking to fill those openings. Just announced today, the town of Lexington will host our annual fireworks show on Friday, July 3rd at approximately 9:15 p.m. Fireworks will launch from the grass parking lot on Church Street and can be viewed from Main Street. It will be a great night to visit your favorite restaurant on Main Street, and there are a number of excellent ones there. Due to the continued restrictions on concert venues from COVID-19, the Sister Hazel show scheduled for July 17, 2020 had to be canceled. Online ticket purchases will be automatically refunded, and tickets purchased at the Old Mill Brew Pub can be refunded in person starting today during their regular business hours. Council will meet again on July 6th at 6 p.m. for council's work session and 6:30 for council's regular meeting. Thank you for watching your town council in action tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. Is there anyone else for other comments? Ms. Manus?
Mr. Mayor, thank you. About the fireworks, I know last year we made sure that all the neighbors knew that. We put stuff in, and I think that's very important. My family's at the beach on July the 4th, so we won't be here, but the year that the neighbors did not know about it, I heard it as I was sitting on the beach, so my phone was ringing. So please be sure that we make sure the neighbors, so a lot of them had dogs, and that was a big concern they had, some elderly people around there, so can we make sure that that's going to happen?
Yes, ma'am. Whoa. Yes, ma'am. We already have that in play. So we had great success with the message board last year. So we put that a couple areas around the area so that the people that lived in the vicinity saw it as they drove around. And those will be going up next week. We actually discussed that this morning. So I think we had good success last year, and so we're going to kind of follow that plan for notification.
Good. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Manus. Anyone else have anything they'd like to add?
Mr. Mayor, I think you need to encourage our residents that they haven't sent in their receipt to get a rebate, or I don't know if we're calling it a rebate, but on their water and sewer. Maybe we should say,
Absolutely.
share that one more time.
I'll be glad to touch on that. So to date, we've had over 700 people send in their receipt and receive the $25 rebate. What that comes down to is if you shop at a local business here in town and you save that receipt and send it in with your water bill, you get a dollar for dollar up to $25 off of your water bill. So please take advantage of that. We have a $250,000 budget, and we've only spent $17,600. So we'd like for y'all to participate in that. It does two things. It helps our local businesses get back on their feet with the influx of money in their businesses, and it also helps all of our residents receive a discount on their water and sewer bill. All you have to do is send it in. You can send it two ways at rebate@lexsc.com, or you can contact us on the website and send it in with your water bill to receive that dollar for dollar match. So please take advantage of that. That's something we did for both residents and businesses throughout the town. Very good. Thank you. Anyone else have anything? Hearing none. Any questions from the news media? I don't believe we have anybody with us tonight. No public comments as well. That concludes our business for this evening. Thank you for watching the town council meeting for the town of Lexington. This meeting was held at Town Hall Monday evening, June 15th, 2020. A recording of this meeting will be aired on the town's information cable channel 1301 several times during this week, and a video will be available on the town's website at lexsc.com. Without objection, we are adjourned.